So, hello everyone. My name is Xi Guo. So, I work in DMT lab, and I was a software engineer 3 years ago, and now I turn to be a lecturer. So, I'm working in computer game technology. So today I'm going to leading the presentation called From Zero to One. So this is a journey for me and my business partner, Yejide, and we are talking through a story we went through a project funded by UKRI, and hopefully taking this chance to reflect for ourselves and get some feedback if possible. I know the time is very tight, but if time allowed, we wish it will be interactive and hope to get some feedback from you guys. So before I start, can I ask anyone working business area? Nice, we have some business here. Are you at kind of SME, or do you mind to say that? SME or? Ah, right, brilliant. So most of you, I believe, I recognize some senior academics here. And some of my colleagues, thank you, and recognize someone I know from the council. Thank you for being here. So Yejide, I told you it's a good opportunity, isn't it? So I'm sure you will find a better pathway through this conversation. Right, so let's start.
Thank you. My name is Yejide Adeoye of Wire Creates Limited. And as C mentioned, we've worked together collaboratively on a project funded by Innovate UK, looking at product innovation. And my background is actually laser cutting and engraving. So I use CO2 lasers to make a range of products. The one that we're focusing on today are map puzzles of different continents, countries, and cities. So yeah, we'll talk about the journey.
Yeah. So, by the way, a little bit more introduction. I also lead a cross-faculty community called the Real FLC. So I love this kind of project. I love interdiscipline. But currently, possibly, I'm doing multidiscipline, so I'm trying to move across. So, yeah, so I think most of you already know, because you've been STEAM conference, I assume you already know there's key principles from STEAM, which called conversation, collaboration, exploration, newness, and openness. I read it as well, but before I start the project, I may not clear what it's doing. So anyone can tell me immediately what it means to you, especially business and academic. What mean it to you? We know the principles. Yeah. Opportunities. Oh, that's good. So any other? Creating new knowledge. Thank you. Right, we're going to stop here, but you can see immediately from different people, there's different views. There's no one size for all understanding. So for us, we try to reflect the journey on our initial question when we saw this. So-called, how can these principles be successful applied to practical cases? In our case, collaborate with Yejide business. And also applied to small-scale projects, which are harder to create enough initial impact and tracked support. So this case we're talking about is small business, and it's a small project. Right. So the first question comes to us is conversation. How we visualize it, how we utilize it. So I'll pass over to you today.
Yes, so as a business owner who wanted to get into more immersive technology, I had to have a lot of conversations with Steamhouse. I sent them my idea, and Steamhouse were able to then direct me to C. Yeah, there was a lot of knowledge created on my part in my business because I just wasn't aware about some of the technologies I actually wanted my idea to be implemented in. Also, as a member of the Birmingham Chamber of Commerce, my business support manager also directed me to Innovate UK Edge Advisors. spoke to school teachers because we wanted to look at it as being an option to be an ed tech or smart toy product. And again, with the project, I had to speak with small businesses who were conversant in the different areas that of technology that we were looking at. So again, there was a lot of conversations had to even just start getting the idea to life and start putting a project idea together.
Now we start the conversation, and we initial the initial idea. But what's next question bothering us is how we collaborate together with academic and small size business. So this is what my taking. I will explain what I taking first. So to infrastructure the collaboration first, I think it should be based on resource sharing. So every collaboration behind is resource sharing and a kind of relationship. Hopefully, it's a win-win relationship, benefit for both sides. Otherwise, it will be flawed. There will be conflict. So before that, we make sure there are resource sharing based there. And another thing, because I'm a software engineer, I like to do things efficiently. So I like to using tools to make sure it's facilitated. So for example, we use Google Drive, we use Trello. So Trello, you can see here is Trello board tracking the progress. Everything is clear, transparent. And we use OneDrive to share big resources as well. As you know, it's free from university. And yeah, and thank you for IT setting up for us. And we use a kind of collaboration tool as well, like Zoom. So this is one of the collaboration meeting using Zoom. So.
I think for me, the main area around collaboration, as C said, she's very structured and organized. As a creative, I'm kind of all over the place. But to a certain extent, I do like organization too. And then working with other stakeholders, we all have different views. We had a lot of different meeting and time challenges. So I think as a project manager, and I say that in inverted commas because I had to learn how to project manage very quickly. And I did learn a lot of things in retrospect that I felt I should have kind of done. But it was a great team to bring together. And we did, collaborate quite well once we were able to timetable everything and get all the tools in place.
Now, we finally get down to business. We are going to explore the newness. But it's easy to say we're going to explore a newness, but where to start? So we focus on, I'm going to talk to Mai. So for myself, because I'm from academic and I passionately research, what I focus on is what I'm good at, problem and solution. So I transfer my research into the innovation, helping to steam and boost up the energy, the resources from creates something innovate for her product. So for your side, I will let you.
Thank you. Again, because this was a new area for me, the markets that I was looking at were smart toys and edtech, and I had to do a bit of research into that, and also make decisions on, as the project developed, in which sectors the actual product would work best in. Also looking at different business models as well in terms of I sell retail or wholesale, but the idea of subscription, and because we had an app that was being connected to a physical product, those kind of things came out. So that was good. Got advice from Steamhouse through their IP. I got a grant from Steamhouse and got IP support and business model support around that as well.
So I want to highlight the picture here. You can see this is our first prototype. It's very bunky and with simple tracking. And then later stage, we collaborate together, using research methodology and using agile methodology, etc. Gradually go through this development circle. And at the end, we actually finish the prototype. So next. Well, you may think everything is smooth now, and we have explored, we have ideas. I just do it. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. It's a process. It's a process involve collaboration. It's a process involve people. and involve people's different ideas. So it's hard. We have confliction, yeah? We should be open, isn't it? We have disagreements. How are we going to do that? Openness. So I want to specifically highlight two things I think is working for me. So as an academic, although I know I have knowledge, but I also still open for suggestion and collaboration. For example, something, we know in academic way, this is working, but not necessarily working for business in reality. There's the costs. There's the manpower, you need to consider. The missing part. So I keep an open mind. I let Yejide give me lesson. And also, there's another thing. I made it really clear I try to be open but honest to Yejide. And I do not overpromise. I tell her honestly what I can do, and I tell her what I can't do. I tell her I have a limitation time, limitation resources, and including limited knowledge. So that's what I did. So I will say to you.
Thank you. I think it was the same as well. There was a lot that I just didn't know, and I was open to saying that, but also open to learning, and very flexible to change. We only had 6 months, maybe 4.5 with Christmas, and actually getting our funding in quite late. So it was very tight, and we were prepared for the risks because we had to do a risk assessment. But again, you never know what's going to happen. So with being able to be flexible, and I think Xi underestimates her participation because she put a lot of work in to get the technology right and to actually be able to scan a wooden puzzle. So that was amazing for me because that was what I really wanted us, or we really wanted to have as the end goal. So I think last minute we managed to get that done. But yeah, I think there was a lot of risk, and we had to be quite open and flexible with each other, and
Well, let me correct a little bit. I wouldn't say it's last minute, but according to our plan, we did have a plan B. So we have to use plan B to cover, but everything as a software engineer, it did covered. But anyway, thanks. So I'm going to show you some results, a conclusion we get from here. So one of the things I'm going to highlight, jump in through, is we developed a new technology and well-designed partnership, work together to create innovative products. This is what we successfully delivered within given time range and prepare business growth. So after this funding round, Yejide's business start to grow and you start to piloting in digital transformation successfully, isn't it? So that's this is something I'm really proud of.
Yep. And I think it's inspired me a lot to look at my business in a different way, look at the different opportunities, and also, again, although we didn't have the STEAM principles in mind every single day, we were actually implementing them quite successfully. And I think it's propelled me to look at wider opportunities. Again, without doing this project, I wouldn't actually be standing here today. So again, it's that thing of sharing our story and making sure that other people understand how the STEAM principles can really help implement and move a project forward.
Welcome to Interactive Map and more. This is a quick tutorial to show you how to use the app. Please put your map in a flat surface and launch the app. Make sure your device is connected to the internet. Launch the app and an introduction video will be loaded. You can skip it by click the skip button. Once the main menu appears, you can click the icon with numbers to start the story scene on the map. If it is your first time using the app, you will be asked by the app to give permission to access the camera. Once you confirmed, an augmented reality story will be loaded with a magic wand appearing on the screen center. App notifications can be found on the top of the screen. You can also explore and interact with the story by hovering the magic wand onto a hotspot. Please allow the hotspot to finish before you interact. Start your journey now and enjoy exploring.